Hey, what's up, guys? It's here. It's finally here. Fuji's XPRO 3. Talk about it in just a second. So, guys, yeah, just like I said, Fujifilm's XPRO 3 just was announced about a month ago at Fuji X Summit. But today, Fuji Rumors actually just announced some of the leaks that they just received, and we're on a 2-day countdown now. We're looking at the release date actually being October 23rd at 1 a.m. New York time. That's 7 a.m. in Berlin time, according to Fuji Rumors. But this is what they are reporting so far for the XPRO 3, and I just wanted to get that out here. If you're comparing it to, we won't even talk about the XPRO 1 because that's not even going to be close to the same kind of camera. But here we have the XPRO 2, and what we're looking at between the XPRO 2 and the XPRO 3 is the size and weight is pretty identical. It looks like we're 497 grams compared to 495 grams on the XPRO 2. So just a little bit heavier. 3.69 million dot organic EL panel for the EVF compared to a TFT color viewfinder, approximately 236 million dots. So the EVF is going to be brighter. It's going to be a higher resolution, definitely more color accurate from what we're hearing. The refresh rate is also going to be a lot faster. We're looking at, I'm going to put my sunglasses on because this is bright. We're looking at 100 feet per second compared to 85, but the new XPRO 3 is going to have this technology in it called smoothness priority. So it's going to give you an equivalent refresh rate of about 200 feet per second. So that's a lot. So that's definitely a big difference. The LCD is going to remain the same at 1.62 million dots for the LCD viewfinder on the back, the flip out screen. But it will be a touch screen as opposed to the XPRO 2, which is not, and it doesn't flip out. Now, I know that that's a big controversy. I'm not getting into that in this video. I have my reasons for loving that viewfinder. Other people, not so much, but it is what it is. That's what we're getting. This is a big one, guys. This is a huge one. Low light AF. Now, Fujifilm's X-T3 right here is pretty good focusing on low light, but with the new XPRO 3, we are receiving reports of -6 EV. -6 EV on the XPRO 3 for focusing compared to a -1 EV on the XPRO 2, so that's big. USB-C connectors compared to a USB 2.0. We're going to get some grain effect, just like we did in the Q menu when you start accessing JPEG files for your XPRO 2. We had strong and weak on the XPRO 2. It looks like on the XPRO 3, we are going to be receiving the same kind of strong / weak, but we're also going to have more control over the size and strength. So I'm not sure if that's the same thing, but I know that the size will be different. So you're going to be able to fine tune your JPEGs just that little bit more. A clarity setting on the XPRO 3. We don't have it on the XPRO 2. And this is a big one too, for you guys that really want to bake your JPEG files and really spend less time maybe editing in Lightroom. We're going to get a tonal curve. So tonal curve for the XPRO 3. So again, this is going to be not only an awesome camera, but almost like a mini little editing machine that you can just kick right out through Wi-Fi your files and probably just post right up if you're ready to go on, you know, any kind of social media that you might want to do. We're also getting a ratings. So we have ratings in the XPRO 3, but it's specific to this camera. Now you're going to be compatible with third-party software, so your ratings, if you rate your photographs A lot of photographers do when they're shooting, you know, weddings or whatnot, or they're out on assignment and, you know, they really nail a few shots that they want to pull back in editing and they don't want to have to, you know, check and see if that was the right setting. You're going to get your ratings showing up on third-party software, so that's really good. Looks like the Q menu, choose the number of icons to be displayed in the menu from 16, 12, 8, or 4. So before we only had 12. Now we have 16. We have 12, and you could also limit. I know that I would probably limit because there's some things that I don't care about changing. So I would get rid of it and just clear up that Q menu a lot. So, you know, it looks like we can go down to 8 and 4. And it's also going to be a transparent background, which is nice too. It's going to be kind of like an overlay, which I don't know if there's really a benefit for that, but that's really a cool option. And we are getting a new film simulation, which has been rumored, and we saw some quick samples of that at X Summit, which is the classic negative. I don't know if we're going to get a firmware update to include X negative in the XPRO 2. I know we're going to get it for the XPRO 3, and that may be due to the same sensor going into the XPRO 3 as is already in the XPRO 2. So we're looking at the 26.1 X-Trans 4 sensor. I have a little bit of a love-hate relationship with this sensor, but it is a phenomenal sensor and the images are gorgeous. I just got to learn how to tweak the colors a little bit differently. So yeah, we're looking at October 23rd, 1 a.m. We're still getting that hidden LCD screen. We're not getting a D-pad. We know this. We saw the pictures of it already. Some of the buttons are rearranged, they're telling us, but I don't think it's anything crazy. We're also getting the mini screen on the back, which is going to show either your data or your film simulation, almost like an old school film tag is going to drop in. We are getting the classic negative, which I just said. We are made out of titanium. This was magnesium alloy. The new one's going to be all titanium body, and you're getting it in black, DURA Black or DURA Silver. You guys have to go on the website and check that out and see which one appeals to you the best. Complete hybrid viewfinder redesign. Yeah, so they're changing this whole hybrid viewfinder, which is going to be, like I said, larger, more clear, a faster refresh rate, better color accuracy, and obviously, definitely, the display is going to be a higher quality display using that organic screen. Let me see. OVF, yeah, just like I said, wider angle of view as well. And what do we have? There's rumors. X processor 4, X trans 4. We already have this. So this is the stuff that we're talking about, and this is what they say is going to happen. Oh, the command dial for the ISO apparently is going to drop the high designation, and it's going to give us a C, which I would imagine is going to be for command, meaning that you can use a command wheel for your ISO a lot quicker than pulling up and dropping. I know some people have complained about that in the past. We are going to have 4K video, I'm hearing. I don't know what the video specs are going to be. I would say most likely in line with the XT3. I highly doubt that they're going to give you anything more than what you already get on the XT3, but that would be just fine for me. Autofocus is improved, like we said. We're getting an HDR shooting function. Now, what that says is which combines multiple continuously shot images of different exposure levels to expand the dynamic range. It produces natural tones without causing exaggerated amplification of color tones. So that could be good. So we know that although HDR images have their time and place, specifically for landscape, sometimes they look overdone, and it just, you know, if you like that look, that's fine. I personally do not care for that look, but I can see HDR actually being used now if it's not as exaggerated like they're saying that it's not going to be. So that could be a good thing. We already said that we're being made out of titanium, so we know that. 70 points of weather sealing. Works at -10 degrees Celsius, so that's going to be That's going to be awesome. AF range limiter function. This is a new one. Select from 2 different preset values or use a focusing ring to specify the amount of focal range. This gives the focus preset function available to all XF lenses. So, you know, I guess specifically what I'm guessing this is when you're dealing with almost like a macro, if you don't want that lens to hunt the whole way, you can kind of limit where you want your quick focusing, and it should make all your lenses a lot faster focusing. I don't think it's gimmicky. I think it's probably a cool idea. I've never really noticed it too much, but if it wakes up some of the older design lenses like the XF, like the 35 1.4 or even the 18-2, if it kind of speeds those up because you know that you're only going to be focusing, say, 20 feet away or whatnot, then I could see this being a good idea. We already talked about smoothness priority in the EVF, 200 feet per second on a refresh rate, so that's pretty cool. The LCD is going to remain the same on the back, except it's going to be touchscreen, and it's going to be 180 degrees flip out rotation, flip down rather, like I said. I'm sure that everybody's seen this now, so what's the point? But we're looking at just a direct hinge down. And it will be touchscreen, and it will be the same resolution, 1.62 million dots. I would have liked to seen that a little bit bigger, but you know, that number a little higher, but that's okay. You're getting that rear LCD glass on the back, which is going to be your film simulation and your data. It's going to give you that. We're getting an updated black and white adjustment called Monochromatic Color. Choose the key color from a matrix of warm to cool tones and magenta and green hues, incorporating the rich gradation into your images. So they're going to give you a little bit more tweaking options when it comes to your black and whites, which is awesome because Fuji's black and whites are just amazing already. So if they're even stepping up their game a little bit more for this XPRO 3, that is going to be really cool. Compatible with third-party software to do your ratings, like I said before. Q button, and we already talked about that. It's going to give you 16, 12, 8, or 4. USB-C, and the size and weight. So this is where we're at, guys. I think this is going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing what this camera holds and the benefits that it has. I do plan on not transitioning over, but I do plan on adding another XPRO series to my lineup. I have the 1, I have the 2, I have the XT3, I have a GFX, X100F, and the X70. I would love to see a new X100F. I would definitely love to see a new X70 with an 18-2. Forget the 2.8, just give me an 18-2 and give me an X70. I love that camera. If you guys can just get on that little pocket, you know, powerhouse, that would be amazing. But I'm really looking forward to checking out the XPRO 3. I just used my XPRO 2 at a wedding, a couple weddings just last weekend and the week before. I still love this camera. This is my go-to street photography camera, and the XPRO 3, I'm sure, is just going to live up to all the hype that it has. There are a lot of haters out there, and that's all well and good, but, you know, just shoot what you like and create images that you're proud of, and don't worry about what everybody else says. Use whatever you like to use, man. Thanks for checking in. Again, this is just a quick overview of what we're getting here. I just wanted to be one of the first guys on YouTube to kick out this info to you. If you haven't seen it, subscribe below, and please give it a like and follow me, and let's get a dialogue going and throw some comments down. As always, check me out on my website and Instagram as well. Thanks, guys. I will see you on the next one.